welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to design your own Ashley dress from the beginning towards the end. Everything with just working with plain spandex material, or you can also add beaded lace material at the top as well for just extra sparkle. So if you want to continue to see how I do it, just keep on watching. So you're going to take your material and fold it, and you need to make sure that you fold it where it stretches the most, so when you put on the dress it can hug all of your curves. And then you're going to take your material, you're going to take your pattern, and excuse my messy pattern, I've had it for years. So you're going to take your pattern and your scissors, and then you're going to cut along the areas. Okay, and then you're going to set that material that you've cut on the side, and then you need to drag the rest of it towards it so you can measure the back part, because we've cut the front part. So now we're going to work with the back. Now you see where the pointing area is, that's your waist, and then that right there is going to be the back top part, which is underneath your armpit. And you see how I made it diagonal? That's where you're going to cut it, because that's where the back part is. Now I normally know where to cut it and where to stop, because I've done this so many times. But if you're not sure, you can take the measuring tape and measure it where you want to stop. Okay, so now we're going to move on. Where I've pointed at, that's where your belly button should be located. And then I'm going to fold that piece down. And that's my mark. That's where I'm going to stop it, because I measure from the belly button. And if you move it all the way to the round of the back, that's normally where, most people want the zipper to start at, because your back is going to be open. So now I'm just going to cut where my mark is all the way to the top. Okay, so next you're going to take the front part of your dress, and you're going to measure right there from the under of your armpits to the front is like pretty much the center of your chest. But I'm going to take a few inches down since it's going to be a low cut, and that from there I'm going to cut diagonal all the way to the other end of that corner, or a couple of inches down, as you see. And then you're going to go to the other side, and you're going to take that end as well, and then just cut it diagonal, just pretty much straight across. So it's so pretty much you have like the front part of the dress where the top is like really pointy. And then after that, once you've cut your areas, you're going to take the center part, which should be where your belly button is, and then you're going to cut that area straight across. Okay, so that top part is where you're gonna get your lace fabric if you want to add some extra detail on there. You're just gonna cut like little pieces of it, and then you're gonna hand sew all of that onto that fabric. So you'll see it later in the video, okay? So before hand sewing everything on there with the beads, you want to fold the fabric in half on the opposite side, and then so you can get that sharp look, because if you don't do that, it's going to look really wide. So I just sew straight down, and you want to make sure you backtrack every time you start and end it as well. Okay, so you see how I've opened up the front, and you see that I've sewn it together. It gives it that sharp look. And then I'm going to take the bottom of the fabric, and I'm going to sew that together on the opposite sides. Okay, next, I've already sewn the back part of the dress. You want to make sure you sew those little pieces, as you can see there. You just cut it and sew it, because once you put it on the dress, it's gonna leave a big gap. I will show you how it looks, because sometimes you have to go back and forth depending on the size that you are, to make it a smaller piece in that little gap section, so it can fit tighter on you. So I just do it in advance so I won't have to keep going, because I've done this plenty of times, and around that area it gets to be really big, so you have to cut it and sew it on the opposite sides. Now I'm going to just right here, I'm just going to hem everything, hem the back part before I sew those two pieces, the front and the back, together. Okay, so now I'm going to take this pink zipper, and I like to cut the top part off because it just makes it easier for me. And I'm going to add that to the back of the dress so it can just be a little bit easier to put the dress on. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail on how to put on the zipper, because putting on an invisible zipper or any type of zipper should be easy for you, because this video is more for advanced sewers. So yeah. Okay, so after I add the zipper, I'm sewing pretty much both of the sides together. So you just sew them together and you should have one simple dress. Okay, as you can see here, I'm going to hem the front part, but not the sides, because you want to leave that out and you want to have room to put the straps on. So you'll see that in the next clip. I'm going to show you how to put the straps on. So for here, you're just going to do a simple hem, any kind of hem, any type of hem, the way you like it. Okay, so now we're going to add the straps. In this section, you really want to pay close attention because it's very detailed. So I'm going to add the little straps. You're going to cut like little triangles. You're going to see in this next clip. So you can have like the right size of it. There you go. So just pretty much that size, nothing in particular. You see how it's out of shape. So you're going to take one of them, because you need both. You need two for both sides. And then you're going to place one at the corner and the other one at the other corner. Now you want to make sure that they are like they're on the appropriate sides, so you won't have straps that are backwards. Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to make sure you place them in the right direction. Otherwise, you're gonna have straps that are backwards, and it's a hot mess. So you need to make sure that it's placed on correctly. So I'm gonna take some clips. That's the clips. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take some little pins and then pin them together, because you really need to get you need to have them measured appropriately. So you'll see here how I do that. Okay, so you're gonna take that corner with the strap in between it, place a pin, and then keep placing pins straight across, and do the same thing on the other corner of that dress as well, because you know this is underneath your armpit, so you need to place it together. This is how I get my hem and the straps underneath it, so it won't be, you know, point out. Now you see how there's an extra piece? You want to keep that. Make sure you have a little piece on the edge, and you'll see why I have that as well. Okay, so now you're just gonna sew it straight across, and you'll have your strap. And then I'll show you what to do in the next clip, okay? Now, as you can see, you flip it over, and you have a perfect hem straight across, and the straps are attached together on each corners. So one should be the back end, and the other one should be the front. So the back should be where you can adjust the straps. Now you see where I'm taking that extra fabric, you flip it in, and I place the safety pin as well, so it can be held together. You just tuck it in, and you see there, you want to have that sharp corner. So I like to sew straight across as well after I had flipped it over. So you want to sew straight across. And then you see that extra piece? I'm going to cut just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit of it. Because why, we're going to do the same thing on the other end. You tuck it in, and then you're going to finish sewing across of it. Well, across, straight across. See there, it's just perfect, simple, very easy. Well, to me, this is how I put my straps on, so this is very easy for me. Okay, so once you've done that, you're gonna cut that extra piece. Just gonna cut it, pretty much just cut it off, so you don't need that. See, very simple and easy. Now, you just cut that extra step, and you have a simple strap. And you see, you can tell that's the front, and then the other one is the back, where it has the adjustable straps. There you go. Then on the other side, you could just pretty much do the same thing. So you can fast forward or see what the next step is. So now you know how to do one. You can just do the other side, and don't forget to put your straps the right way, because I've been in that situation where I put them the wrong way and I had to do it all over, which takes time. You know how that goes when you have to take the everything, not everything, but you know, portion apart. But yeah, so go ahead and do the other side, girl. Okay, so here you should have pretty much the whole dress intact except for the bottom. We're gonna get to that. You see how there's a gap here? You see how I'm pinching it? You pretty much just cut it and just sew it to make it a little bit tighter. That's what I normally do. Unless your client has bigger boobs, then there's no need to. You can also wait till she gets there and try on the dress. Now here I showed you where I cut like, a big triangle piece, and you need to sew that around the dress. And I would advise it closer to where the tulle fabric is, not the tutu, sorry, the tulle fabric. So you're gonna sew that all the way around. You see how I've done that? Just like that. It doesn't matter if it's like, the front side or the back side. It really doesn't matter because you can't see it. But you just sew it all the way around, just like that. Then I just lay down the whole entire fabric. Normally it should be about, I believe, 3 or 4 yards, depending on the size of the fabric. And that's where I stand in the middle and I sew it all the way around. Now I just eyeball it and I sew it all the way around. But obviously you want it closer to the front. Now, once you've done that, you see how I pinned it together. I pinned the dress, the tulle fabric, and where you cut your extra fabric out. You see where that's at? You want to make sure you can fold it like that because it's going to be really big. So fold it a little bit, halfway inwards, and you want to pin it all the way around. Now you're not going to sew just like that. You're going to sew it the opposite way. Now here in this clip is pretty much the hand beaded sewing. I sewed on and that's just extra work if you want to do. Now, you see the bottom part, it's going to be just like that because it depends on the length of your dress. Now I get extra fabric just like that and I cut that portion. You want to cut that portion and then you want to put it along the edges of where you're missing that fabric all the way around on both sides. It should be in the front. You get what I'm saying? So it's like long in the front. That's where your extra fabric comes in, unless you purchase extra fabric and you can use that extra fabric and cut it on the sides, because either way you're gonna have that extra fabric. Now here's pretty much another same dress but same style but different color. For watching. I hope I wasn't fast, but if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Make sure to subscribe, like my page, comment, and also follow my Instagram page. Thank you.